Welcome to
Introverts Own Your Voice. I'm Tom Marcoux.
And I'm Johanna McLeod.
This episode is Get Them to Say Yes When You Reduce Resistance.
I feel like I need to say yes to you.
Wow. Well, I guess we're done.
Yay!
Let's continue. I have 3 R's here. Before I get into the 3 R's of reducing resistance, I have a question for you, Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
When do you naturally resist something? If someone's talking to you?
When somebody tells me how I'm feeling.
Ah, got it. So they're imposing on you because they think they know how you feel.
Yeah.
So does this come up maybe in a sales situation where someone will say to you, you'll like this. You want this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel like you're being pushed or?
It feels like I'm being manipulated.
I hear you. And we absolutely want to avoid the whole area of coming across with that kind of energy. At the same time, I want to share that it's totally natural for us to resist.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's probably genetically that way because those of us who have protected ourselves, we live to pass on our genes.
Mm-hmm.
So you might say that our ancestors have specifically given us a heritage of those people who look out for negative things.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ones who said, oh, saber-toothed tiger, I'm out of here, they lived. The other ones said, hello, kitty. They didn't live. So resistance is natural. And even though it may seem unfortunate or uncomfortable if you are trying to get someone to purchase the product or service that you're offering,
mm-hmm.
the idea is that it's natural and we can reduce it
mm-hmm.
if we are strategic about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the first R is reduce resistance in yourself.
Mm.
Those people who run around saying, I can't stand selling, they're creating resistance in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's why with my clients and also with my audiences, I say, let's rise to a higher level. Let's rise to the level of enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too much negative energy around selling because we've all had novice salespeople, inept salespeople push us.
When you're saying enrolling, is that just really another name for selling?
Not the way I say it. Enrolling is a process. I break them away from each other. I say that selling is imposition.
Mm-hmm.
Enrolling is invitation.
Mm.
So I'm inviting the person to have experiences with me that are positive, that help them connect with what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
The point of reduce resistance in yourself is to learn how to bring offers, how to bring what you're wanting someone to invest in, bring it in such a way that it feels like an invitation. It
mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like you're trying to overcome their objections. Overcoming brings on this feeling of like it's a battle. It's not a battle. It's actually a dance, or it's actually a process of they say something, you respond well to it. So it's almost in a moment they're leading, then you're responding, then
mm-hmm.
you ask a different question.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you ask a question, you're leading. But it's not about overcoming a person or overcoming objections. And therefore you don't have to feel
yes.
in terms of using old-fashioned selling techniques. Instead, what you're doing is learning enrolling methods, which are very much about getting to what the person wants ideally,
mm-hmm.
finding out what their obstacles are,
mm-hmm.
and showing how you can help them get what they want.
Mm.
Our second R is recharge their desired result. This is part of enrolling. What you're doing is, at the beginning, you ask them questions so that we can get really clear, what is it that they really want? What is the best result your client wants? And recharging their desired result is about connecting them to what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's 1 year from now, when everything is working, what's going on? How are you feeling about that?
Mm-hmm.
What's so great about that? Connect them with the ideal, with what they really want.
Uh-huh.
Usually, it's a process of helping them imagine feeling great when some obstacle is out of their way. Imagine feeling so hopeful
mm-hmm.
and that they're at another space, another place in their life, a better chapter of life, a chapter where they're blooming more than where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
The third R is rehearse delight-causing responses. This is an unusual phrase. Delight-causing responses.
Well, just think of it this way. You give me chocolate, I'm very happy, and I respond positively.
With a big smile.
Yes.
And you're delighted.
Yes.
Exactly. We can do that with our words. It may not be as intense as your chocolate high. Mm-hmm. However, it can be enjoyable though. And this is what we can do about enrolling. Mm-hmm. People dread selling, but enrolling is a positive process. And in enrolling, what you do is you rehearse before you have the conversation. If they say this, I say this other thing. When I work with my clients, we develop these if-then patterns. Mm-hmm. If they say this, I have 3 alternatives of how I respond. And how I respond creates delight. Mm. People often discover that they meet someone and they are thirsty for someone to listen to them. Mm. It's almost as we're all next to each other, but we're all dying of thirst because we all desperately want a drink of water, which is just a metaphor for being heard. Mm-hmm. So when you respond, and if you say, oh, that sounds really frustrating, how did it go then? It's often like you're offering water to a very thirsty person. Oh, yes, let me tell you all about it. So great people who are great at enrolling, they are really terrific listeners. Mm-hmm. But they also are really terrific about asking the right questions that helps the person feel something good, empowering, charging them up. That's why we say you rehearse your delight-causing responses. That's a lot of material. Johanna, do you have a particular question at the moment?
I was going to ask you, what's the most important thing to remember out of the 3 R's?
It's for you to reduce the resistance in yourself. We've just got to throw that out. Stop practicing this phrase, I don't like selling. Mm-hmm. Because it feels bad. Mm-hmm. Replace that with, I'm learning how to enroll. It's a positive adventure. Mm-hmm. People are going to be delighted because I want to listen to them a lot. Mm. Now is a good time for a Marcoux moment. That's when I share an excerpt from one of the 47 books I've written that are up on Amazon. The excerpt this time will be from my book, Now You See Me. Subtitle is, Make a Great First Impression. Use the secrets of power networking for more clients, more referrals, and more friends. So we'll go to page 130. Do not let anyone bleed the life out of you. Bam! The train slammed into something. My knee hit the seat in front of me, and the passenger car violently tilted to the right. I had just experienced riding in a derailed train. The train engineer had brought the train into the San Francisco train station too fast, and the train had hit the barrier hard enough to toss the train wheels off the track. Unfortunately, there are a number of people who function like barriers and throw us off track, even off track of our destiny. So I'm here to help you know and say to yourself, I am strong. At this point in the book, we have 2 processes that start with A and M. Arrange empowering questions. Have you heard a close friend or family member say, that won't work? Almost nobody can make a living at that. Sometimes in my life, I've wanted to yell, do you know what the hell you're doing? You're stepping on my soul. You're saying exactly what takes the life out of me. You're spitting on my hope. But I don't say that. Why? Because whether this is a friend or a family member, they do not understand what they're doing. The truth is, your destiny is your own. Other people cannot see the vision. They cannot feel what you want deep in your heart. It's like you're listening to music that they cannot hear. So now we're going to move on to page 214. Overcome feeling nervous on meeting new people. Question 36. How can I handle nervousness when meeting new people? Answer. Transform your focus from yourself, how am I doing, to the other person, how are you doing? Instead of trying to say something clever and attempt to impress the other person, show the person that you are impressed with him or her. Ask gentle questions. You can ask, so how is the conference going for you? Are you looking forward to a particular speaker? What are you looking forward to? And then you listen carefully and ask follow-up questions like, it sounds like you felt blank. And then what happened? That sounds like it was frustrating. How did you? And so that's the completion of this excerpt. The name of the book is Now You See Me. Make a great first impression. Use the secrets of power networking. So Johanna, I'm curious. What are you going to hold on to from this conversation?
I liked your part about rehearsing.
I'm with you. Particularly, we're talking about rehearse delight-causing responses, meaning that you're doing something terrific because you're responding to what's important to them. And as you give them more opportunities so that they can vocalize what's important to them, they feel good. Someone's listening to me. That causes a form of delight. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Tom. Click to subscribe to this channel.
And then you'll be supporting Johanna, me, and our message.
Tom helps people in other ways.
As a spoken word strategist and executive coach, I help people really connect and get yes. I help them with their speeches, pitches, video marketing, and networking. And I help them prepare for that crucial life-changing meeting. As you're ready to go to the next step, see special videos, find out about my books and coaching at getthebigyes.com/next step.
And so remember,
Perform at your best with words, strategy, and rehearsal.
for your success.